welcome to this week's Parent in My Pocket Facebook live Q&A, and we are on episode 55. So yeah, we've hit episode 55, and it's great that we were able to get this far, and for you guys still to be coming along and asking questions. I am having great interest here with Facebook popping up little pop-ups on my screen, so that's why I may seem a little bit distracted, because it's just all these pop-ups tell me that I need to check different things, but I think we're okay. I think we're good to go. So I hope you've all had a good week. It's been another busy week, but a good week in Parent HQ. I just finished a session with a young lad who was here to do the Empowering Learning program, where we teach children maybe have dyslexia or trouble with remembering spellings, a way to use their visual memory to help them to spell in a way that works for them as opposed to the auditory way. And it is phenomenal. Like, his mum was sitting here and her chin was on the floor because she just couldn't believe. Like, when they walked in, they both said, well, look, he might spell a 4-letter word. And he was spelling 4-letter words within 30 seconds and left having spelled 3 9-letter words forwards and in reverse on the first go. So it's my favourite programme to run, and I just love getting to see that in person. Maria, hello, good to see you. Liking the new room. So the new room is my old room. So in some ways, this room is where I meet clients on a one-to-one basis, and because of COVID, I haven't been meeting clients on a one-to-one basis, but I did today, and it was nice to get out of my little shoebox room. So it's good to see you, Maria. Today we've got a couple of questions, and they're I'm not going to say fun ones, but they're ones that are a bit more light-hearted, but still can cause irritation. And when I got them both in at different times, they both made me kind of chuckle as well, because I know what it's like in some instances with questions like these, and I know it'll resonate with a lot of parents out there who maybe wouldn't complain about this, but they will understand exactly what these parents are going through. So we'll get straight in. My daughter has gone into secondary school and seems to be managing fairly well. So for those of you outside of Ireland, secondary school starts about 12 or 13 years of age. She has made a ton of new friends, and we love hearing her stories from the day when she gets home in the evening. She has become especially close with this one girl, and she has had her up in our house a few times. She's a lovely girl and is really funny. The reason I'm writing is because she swears all the time when she's in our house. I was taken aback at the start and then noticed it again the next time. My own daughter has let slip a few words recently, which I've addressed with her and dealt with, but I'm wondering what to do when her friend comes to visit. I don't know if it is appropriate for me to tell her it's not okay, as it seems like it's just a habit she's gotten used to. What would you suggest as the best way to deal with it, as I don't want it carrying on and my daughter thinking that there's one rule for her and another rule for everyone else in her own home? So this one definitely resonated with me, and I'm sure it's going to resonate with a lot of you guys out there as well. So here we have a daughter who's gone into secondary school, and she's having a great time making all these new friends, probably feeling a little bit more grown up, and it's all fantastic. And she brings her friend into the house, and her friend probably swears like a trooper outside anyway, which is probably a little bit exciting as well, coming from primary school where it maybe isn't allowed as much or accepted as much in that age group. And she is swearing all over the place. And then she comes into the mum's house and is swearing because, like that, she just gets used to it. And it's interesting, when I got the original message, myself and my wife were chatting about it, and we were saying it's been really interesting over the years to notice how many people, parents and children, that we've come across who swear and they just don't even think about it. It just comes out. It's just the normal, natural way they talk. So it may not be a big thing, but it's something that kind of took us both aback. And I think in all of my years, so when I ran youth projects, I was they used to laugh at me because I was quite a stickler for not allowing swearing in the youth project. And they laughed and they laughed, but they weren't allowed to do it. And then they learned very quickly that, okay, it's not okay in this place, so I'm just not going to do it. And it was amazing how easily they adapted to it just by having it's not allowed in here, so, let's just move past it, just don't do it when you're here. And essentially, that's what I would take. I would take that idea with this friend of your daughter. So you don't have to make a big deal of it either. It's not like it's right, that's it, these are the rules in this house. But anytime I've experienced that in my own house with my own children's friends, when they've come in, I'll make kind of a joke about it, but I'll make the point. Oh, none of that language in this house. Oh, has the air got a bit blue in here? Hold on a minute. Who's swearing in my house? And you're making light of it in some ways, but you're also making it very clear that I hear it and it's not okay. And then you can kind of play on it if it happens again over time. And again, it can be, Jenny, whatever your name is, did I hear that coming out of your mouth? And what you'll notice is it might still happen, but it might just happen less and less and less throughout the time that she's in your house. And that way you're showing your daughter that actually it's not okay for her, but I'm also not going to embarrass you in front of your new friend who is your BFF right now. So, but I am going to make a point of it. And when it's light-hearted and jokey, the chances of your child coming back or being embarrassed are slim to none. She'd probably go, oh, that's just my mother, or that's just my father, whatever it might be. And it's an easier way. It's the way I've found works easiest when I'm dealing with teenagers or preteens coming into a youth project or a house, and they usually go along with it if we pull them up on it, but in a nice way. And then it doesn't even create tension then with their parents, because it's light-hearted. Oh, jeez, when your child's in the house, sure, the air turns blue. Ha ha ha! If it comes up, but I doubt it will because it'll just be one of those things. So give it a try and see how it goes. Maria's saying, "Come on, Liverpool at the weekend." Always come on, Liverpool. That's what we're going to go for. Okay, second question today. My 9-year-old loves to cook. I love this about her, but recently she's been asking if she can help with dinner pretty much every day. A lot of parents out there going, this is amazing. I skipped ahead. I know lots of parents out there would love that, but our schedule is so tight during the week that I don't have time to allow her to learn how to make things. I don't want to put her off either, and I know how important it is for her to learn how to cook. And my own mum spent a lot of time showing me what to do in the kitchen, but she didn't have to drive 4 kids to different activities in 4 different places at the same time pretty much every evening. Okay, that might be a slight exaggeration, but you know what I mean. What's the best way to keep her encouraged, but not to point out where it is adding extra stress to me? Okay. So let's break this down. So you have this enthusiastic child, and it is amazing. It's amazing that you have this child who wants to learn how to cook instead of just, where's my food? Serve it up to me. Come on. So you have this child who wants to learn to cook, but I completely understand that in order for people to learn new ways of cooking, we need to break a few eggs. And there needs to be the time to clean up those eggs that get broken and not get frustrated. Okay, so during the week, for a lot of parents out there, you are literally going from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next activity, and especially if there's a lot of kids in the house. So there is a challenge there, and it doesn't have to be she cooks or she doesn't cook. So you can try and find the way that works best. So have a look at the week. Is there an evening during the week where you don't have to drive? Is there an evening during the week where you have got the time to allow her to break some eggs? If not, that's okay. But maybe this is where you get an opportunity at the weekend to say, well, okay, what would you like to cook? Maybe the two of us can cook for the whole family. And there is that more time. There is that sense of freedom to learn and to make mistakes, because that's so important. What we don't want is our children being so afraid of making a mistake in the kitchen that they just go, do you know what? It's not worth it. So you have one here who's enthusiastic, wants to do it, wants to learn, wants to help cook meals for the family. And the more she starts to do it, well, then maybe she will be able to get to a stage where during the week she says, look, Mum, I'll cook dinner tonight while you're driving the other kids around. When she's, 13, maybe 14. And that way you're encouraging her. You're allowing her the space to learn and make mistakes. And at the same time, you guys are having an interaction where you would be amazed how much she may talk about what's going on in her life, especially as she gets older, but maybe less now, but as she gets older, you guys have got this connection and you've got this space where we're doing something. And like I always say, it is amazing, amazing how often the young people I've worked with over the years will open up and start talking about things when the focus isn't on them. When the focus is on something else, they are so much more open to having conversations. So here you are creating that space, and it's, you're teaching her a life skill so that she won't be coming back to you when she's 25, 35, 45 going, Mom, could you make me beans on toast, please, because I don't know what to do. You're sending her off into the world knowing, well, look, she may not be able to do laundry or may not be able to do anything else, but at least she can cook a meal for herself and her friends, and she's not going to starve. So carve out that bit of time and look at what is best. So you might have stuff on during the day. Well, maybe Saturday evening or Sunday evening is the best time for her, that you both have time, or maybe lunchtime on a Saturday or a Sunday. You might have more time to do it. But carve it out, and then you can start to get her excited about it and asking her, what would you like to cook this weekend? And I'll pick up the ingredients so we're ready to go. And maybe she can go and ask the rest of the family, what do you want me to cook? And then you can kind of get some ideas. And all of a sudden she's feeling part of something. She's getting a sense of worth. Because that's another thing in terms of building self-confidence, is knowing that we have worth and that there is something that we can do. So by contributing to the family like that, she is learning that she has worth and she has value. So, and I'm sure she does elsewhere. I'm sure you've got lots of other things where you're teaching her that she has worth and value. But here's another thing that she can do. And how good is that going to be? It'll be fantastic. So sit down with her, look at each week, and if there needs to be flexibility in terms of the ups and downs, that's okay. But give it a go. And you can explain to her, if she understands, say, look, I know you'd love to cook during the week and everything, but the time slots are so short that I need to get things prepped beforehand. Or maybe when she gets more confident and gets, you feel more trusting of her, maybe she can do up the vegetables for the dinner during the week. Maybe not. It's okay, but let's go back just to step one, make that time of the weekend, and you will be amazed how much more comes from this than just her learning to cook. You'll have a lovely interaction with her most of the time. And if she changes her mind on the day, maybe that's okay too. If she changes her mind every week, well, then you might have to kind of name it with her and go, look, maybe we'll leave it for a while, but encourage it in a time frame that works for both of you. Let's look at it. And if you want to call over to my house and cook the meal for everybody, that'd be okay. I could cope with that. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me today. It's short and sweet one today, but have a lovely week, and I will chat to you next week. Take care of yourselves.